Gentlemen, start your engines.
Hey guys, how are you? I'm Edward, and today I will show to you my top 27 Assetto Corsa non-oval tracks for you to race with your INDYCAR mods. In this list we're gonna have a mix of tracks from North America/Canada and one from Australia. Some of those tracks had already received one or more INDYCAR/Champ Car racing, and others have all the characteristics for INDYCAR racing. It was extensive research to make this video happen, so please don't forget to follow, comment, like and share. Let's go! I do not own the following tracks. All the contents were found on the internet. Some of those tracks works perfectly with IA, others not so good. Some are perfect for time attack, and others for racing. Please have that in mind. Our list begins with the Portland Raceway. Portland International Raceway is an unusual case of a circuit emerging from the ruins of the flooded and abandoned city of Vanport, making use of the sum of the former road networks to eventually form a permanent racing facility. The race was held every year from 1984 through 2007, first as a kart series race, then as part of Champ Car World Series. The circuit has a length of 1.9 miles, 3.1 kilometers, and 12 turns. The track have a beautiful flow to its corners and two long straights, but the turn 1, a right-left-right chicane at the end of the pit straight, has become a hotspot for clashes over the years, where cars are forced to brake from approximately 175 miles per hour down to 75. Number 2, Houston Grand Prix. Designed by Martin Tate, the course for the revived Grand Prix of Houston featured a fast curving section around the perimeter of the famous Astrodome, as well as a series of medium and slow-speed corners. Laid out on the asphalt surface of the lot, it was quite fast and frenetic, if a little bumpy. The inaugural event in May 2006 was something of a first for the Champ Car and ALMS series, as it became the first street race held at night under artificial lighting. Length 1.6 miles, 2.7 kilometers. Turns 10. The third on the list is the San Jose Grand Prix. This race was an annual street circuit race in the Champ Car World Series in San Jose, California. Initially, the track was designed to run near downtown San Jose, California, circling around the SAP Center. However, due to higher than expected costs for street repairs and improvements, among other concerns, race organizers moved to a course running directly through downtown. Length 1.42 miles, 2.29 kilometers. Turns 7. Circuit Mont Tremblant is a race circuit located south of the village of Mont Tremblant, Quebec, Canada, and it is a classic road course in a stunningly picturesque setting in Canada's Laurentian Mountains. Since opening in 1964, it has ascended the motorsports ladder to host racing at the highest level, only to be overtaken by other Canadian circuits and slipping into relative obscurity in the 1980s and 1990s. Happily, the track was rescued and extensively redeveloped by billionaire Lawrence Stroll, resulting in a brief return to international attention with the visits of Champ Car and Grand AM, before settling into life as a venue of note for historic racing. Track length is 4.26 kilometers, 2.65 miles. Molson Indy Vancouver was an annual champ car race held in a street circuit near BC Place and running past Science World in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. The race was held in July, August, or September from 1990 to 2004. The circuit was popular with drivers and often produced an entertaining race. For most of its 15 years, the Vancouver Indy attracted in excess of 100,000 spectators over the course of its weekends, and in 1996 held the Canadian single-day sporting event attendance record until it was beaten by the Canadian Grand Prix in Montreal that year. Length, 2.8 kilometers, 1.7 miles. Turns, 14. Charlotte Roval. The Roval configuration is a 17-turn, 2.28-mile track that challenges the best of drivers and team. Car setups are typically compromises. A car good on the oval may not be so good in the infield and vice versa, so drivers and crew chiefs have to decide what matters most to them. Two chicanes, one on the back straight and one just before the start-finish line, make for some exciting passing opportunities as competitors can attempt to outbrake each other. The Charlotte Roval is a unique infield road course that has already proven to be an exciting venue since its NASCAR debut in 2018. Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, formerly Mosport Park and Mosport International Raceway, is a multi-track motorsport venue located north of Bowmanville in Ontario, Canada, 64 kilometers east of Toronto. It's a 10-turn road course with a length of 2.9 kilometers, 1.8 miles. Mosport Park was Canada's first permanent motor racing facility and is one of a handful of circuits to have continued in operation for more than 60 years without any layout alterations. One of my favorites, Road America, is a permanent road course. It is located midway between the cities of Milwaukee and Green Bay and classified as an FIA Grade 2 circuit. A sign outside Road America's Turn 5 proudly declares the facility as America's National Park of Speed, and it is hard to put forward a counter-argument. With a layout largely unchanged since its mid-1950s inauguration, this 4-mile course has played host to some of the country's most prominent road racing championships. For me, one of the top 5 curves in motorsport is the Turn 9, or the Carousel, which is a long, sweeping right-hand series of corners. It's an amazing and very unique curve, technical and need a lot of practice to master. The Kart Champ Car Series held races at the track from 1982 to 2007, with the exception of 2005. The Verizon INDYCAR Series revived the event beginning in 2016. Length, 4 miles, 6.5 kilometers. Turns, 14. Road Atlanta, known for sponsorship reasons as Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta, is a 2.5 miles road course located just north of Braselton, Georgia, United States. If they built a roller coaster for racing, it would look a lot like Road Atlanta. The circuit has a well-deserved reputation as a daunting lap, with uniquely exciting features. A single lap begins with a gut-sucking, very fast uphill right-hand sweeper, followed by a left-hander over the crest of a hill, and right into the downhill and uphill combination called the S's. Length, 4 miles, 6.5 kilometers. Turns, 14. The Detroit Grand Prix, is an INDYCAR Series race weekend held on a temporary circuit in Detroit, Michigan. The race has been held from 1989 to 2001, 2007 to 2008, and since 2012. Since 2012, the event has been scheduled for the weekend immediately following the Indianapolis 500. The origins of the event date back to the Formula One Detroit Grand Prix on the Detroit Street Circuit. The kart series began headlining the event in 1989, and in 1992, the race moved from downtown Detroit to Belle Isle, a park situated on an island in the Detroit River, which is the longest-serving venue of the race. The INDYCAR Series took over the race beginning in 2007. Length 2.35 miles, 3.78 kilometers. Turns 14.
Good morning, this is your captain speaking. We're about to land on Cleveland Airport. The racing temperature is around 120 Fahrenheit, with the Grand Prix starting now. Hope you have enjoyed your flight, and don't forget to subscribe.
The Grand Prix of Cleveland was an INDYCAR event in the kart series, held annually at Burke Lakefront Airport in Cleveland, Ohio. Normally a fully functioning airport year-round, Burke Lakefront Airport was shut down for the week leading up to the event each year, requiring careful maintenance of the runways in order to keep them safe for cars at high speeds. The race was very popular amongst fans, as the long, wide runways, much wider and longer than typical courses, allowed for side-by-side racing, fast speeds, and superb passing zones around the entire track. Length 2.1 miles, 3.3 kilometers. Turns 10. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway is an automobile racing circuit located in Speedway, Indiana, an enclave suburb of Indianapolis in the United States, and it is the home of the Indianapolis 500, Verizon 200, and GMR Grand Prix. The modern FIA Grade 1 infield road course had opened in 2000 and was initially used for the United States Grand Prix from 2000 to 2007. Later, it was used for MotoGP and Grand Am. The layout for the infield road course was originally designed in 1992 by Kevin Forbes during the reconstruction of the Brickyard Crossing Golf Course. From 2014 to 2019, and again since 2021, the INDYCAR Grand Prix has been scheduled for the Saturday 2 weeks before the Indianapolis 500. The race effectively serves as an opening weekend for the month of May activities at the Speedway. When the Indianapolis Motor Speedway was under construction in 1909, the original plans included a combined road course layout. Length 2.439 miles, turns 14. Sebring Raceway is a mecca for sports car fans the world over, having held its famous 12-hour race since 1952. Built on the runways and connecting roads of a former U.S. Army Air Base, what was once a temporary affair is now a permanent facility used year-round for testing and club racing. Indeed, Sebring is now one of the oldest continuously operating circuits in the whole of the USA. Sebring is one of the country's most active racing facilities, attracting more than 175 individual events on more than 250 days a year. It is estimated that more than 400,000 drivers, engineers, crew members, and racing families attend events annually at Sebring International Raceway. Length 3.7 miles, 6 kilometers. Turns 17. St. Petersburg street racing first began in 1985 when the SCCA organized Can-Am and Trans-Am races on the bayfront streets, with the first years seeing the course heading out over the water along the pier. Races continued through to 1990 before the loss of a sponsor curtailed events. The Grand Prix was revived in 2003, this time using the runway of the neighboring Albert Whitted Airport to create a unique part airfield, part street circuit combination. The revived event has proved a huge success, usually featuring as the season opener of the INDYCAR series and its various supporting classes. Length 2.8 kilometers, 1.8 miles. Turns 14. Toronto's INDYCAR race around the roads of Exhibition Place has fast become one of the most popular and successful street races in North America, attracting big crowds year on year. The second longest running street race on the INDYCAR schedule, only Long Beach boasts a longer run. It has been an ever-present on the calendar since 1986, save for a gap year in 2009 and the coronavirus-affected years of 2020 and 2021. The event is in fact Canada's second largest annual sporting event, eclipsed only by the Canadian Grand Prix in Montreal. Length 2.8 kilometers, 1.7 miles. Turns 11. The Surfers Paradise Street Circuit is a temporary street circuit in Surfers Paradise in Queensland, Australia. Plans for the race were mooted in the late 1980s when Ron Dixon, who held the rights to kart INDYCAR racing internationally, began looking for a venue in his native Australia. From 1991 to 2008, the circuit hosted an American Championship car racing event, the Gold Coast Indy 300. The beachside track has several fast sections and 2 chicanes, having been shortened from an original 4.7 kilometers length in 2010. Length 2.9 kilometers, 1.8 miles. Turns 15. Barber Motorsports Park is an impressive road course and museum complex located at Birmingham, Alabama. Built by George Barber as a home and runout for his impressive collection of motorcycles, the track has been designed by Alan Wilson to make best use of the topography of the landscape and features numerous elevation changes. The Grand Prix of Alabama has been a staple of the INDYCAR Series calendar since 2010, while the circuit has also hosted Grand AM and IMSA events in the past. The 16-turn, 2.3-mile course is finished to a very high level, fantastic surface conditions, and safe runoff areas. And the lap is famously surrounded by an eclectic collection of outdoor art installations and sculpture. It's a technically challenging course that rewards car setup and driver skill over horsepower, and several notable blind elevation changing corners. Length 2.3 miles, 3.8 kilometers. Turn 16. A classic road racing course nestling in the rolling countryside at Lexington, Mid-Ohio grew from relatively modest origins to become one of the most significant circuits in America. With its lush green surroundings and challenging layout, Mid-Ohio is a firm favorite of both competitors and spectators alike. Mid-Ohio is well known as a driver's track that rewards technical skills over horsepower. The flowing and complex course requires finesse, patience, and courage. Both configurations begin with the daunting Turn 1, a blind 100 miles corner, include a roller coaster series of SE bends known as Madness, and conclude with a near 360-degree carousel that has a virtually unlimited number of lines and apexes. Length 2.2 miles, 3.6 kilometers. Turns 13. The Homestead Miami Speedway is a motorsport complex consisting of a NASCAR-style oval racetrack and an infield road course, constructed in 1995 at Homestead, a suburb of Miami, Florida, by an initiative led by Cuban-American racer and businessman Ralph Sanchez. The 2.21-mile, 3.55 kilometers road course at Homestead Miami Speedway starts in the 2-degree banked front stretch and snakes in the infield of the oval track with a total of 15 turns. Some of these turns are tight, like turns 3, 6, or 8, while others are fast sweepers like turns 1, 5, or 10. The average speed of the road course is 78 miles per hour, 125 kilometers per hour, with an average lap time of 1 minute and 42.4 seconds. There are several hard braking zones near the corners and excellent passing opportunities in the straight segments of the track.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Be welcome to the Daytona Road Course. The road circuit is famous for the 24 Hours of Daytona, also known as the Rolex 24 at Daytona, held annually at Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida. It is run on the sports car course layout, a 3.5-mile, 5.73 kilometers combined road course that uses most of the tri-oval plus an infield road course. The road course at Daytona International Speedway has a 12-turn layout where cars can develop lightning speeds. With a 101 miles per hour average velocity that doubles in the fastest sections of the track. Most of it goes through the 31 degrees banked tri-oval NASCAR racetrack, except turns 1 to 6 and 8 to 11, and closed infields of the main oval track. Length 3.5 miles, 5.7 kilometers. Turns 12. The road course in Sonoma is a 12-turn, 2.39-mile circuit with an average speed of 77 miles per hour and an average lap time of 1 minute and 51.426 seconds, enclaved in a region known for its high-quality wineries and its mild weather year-round. The main attention grabber in this track is the carousel, a set of high-speed turns starting from turn 4, a tight right-hand corner going into a light, high-speed sweeping turn 5, only for turning heavily to the left in 6 and ending right into a hairpin in the opposite direction at turn 7. That segment is so difficult to maneuver with regular stock cars that NASCAR bypassed it from 1998 until 2019 and only brought it back to life for the circuit's 50th anniversary celebrations. The new, or old, configuration was so exciting to see that it stayed ever since, and nowadays is the signature feature of Sonoma Raceway. Length, 4.06 kilometers. Turns, 12. The Grand Prix of Long Beach, known as Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach since 2019, is an INDYCAR Series race held on a street circuit in downtown Long Beach, California. The Long Beach Grand Prix is the longest-running major street race held in North America. The current race circuit is a 1.9-mile, 3.1 kilometers temporary road course laid out in the city streets surrounding the Long Beach Convention Center. The circuit also goes primarily over the former location of the Pike Historic Amusement Zone. Back in the year of 1983, faced with increasing F1 purses, sanctions, and shipping charges, Chris Pook, the organizer of previous Formula One races at Long Beach, was approached by championship auto racing teams, CART, and signed an agreement for the Champ cars to make their Long Beach debut in 1984. The track is particularly noted for its last section, a sharp hairpin turn followed by a long, slightly curved front straightaway which runs the length of Shoreline Drive. Length 1.9 miles, 3.1 kilometers. Turns 11. Laguna Seca's classic road course, now known as WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca for marketing reasons, winds its way around the hillsides in Salinas County on the Monterey Peninsula and has long been considered one of America's best. Relatively short but fast, the racetrack is 2.2 miles, 3.6 kilometers long, with a 180 feet, 55 meters elevation change. With its series of blindingly fast curves interrupted only by the corkscrew and the final hairpin, Laguna Seca was no place for the faint of heart. And with lap times approaching the 1-minute mark for the fastest cars, the Sports Car Association of the Monterey Peninsula embarked on a major rebuild in 1989 that added a tricky infield section and lengthened the track to its current 2.238-mile, 11-turn configuration. Let's see how was Laguna Seca before the rebuild. The course features considerable elevation changes, notably the downhill plunging corkscrew turn, which is perhaps one of the most recognizable turns in world motorsport. The course hosts annual visits for both the INDYCAR Series, the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Series, and Moto America, as well as several popular historic racing meetings. The Grand Prix of Denver was a champ car race last held on a street circuit in Denver, Colorado, United States. A champ car race was first held in Denver in 1909. 38 years later, champ cars returned to Denver with a kart-sanctioned event downtown near the Civic Center. However, like the previous incarnation, that race also lasted only 2 years. Kart returned to Denver in 2002 with a race on a 1.64-mile, 2.64 kilometers temporary circuit around the then-named Pepsi Center. The final race was held in 2006. Champ Car initially put the race on its 2007 schedule, but removed it after conflicts with other events could not be reconciled. Length 1.6 miles, 2.6 kilometers. Turns 9. The circuit Trois-Rivières is a street circuit in Trois-Rivières, Quebec, Canada. The circuit has been the home of the annual Grand Prix de Trois-Rivières, the longest-running street race in North America since 1967. Trois-Rivières is the one of the oldest street races in North America and has become something of Quebecois racing tradition, having seen countless up-and-coming stars fight it out for victory round the small but challenging track. Instantly recognizable from the Port Duplessis archway through which the course passes, the Grand Prix has been a near constant since 1967. Personally, I love the track. She have an amazing flow. I love how challenging and strong the braking zones are and how technical the driver have to be to master the track. My favorite part is the Sector 3, with a fast left-hander corner just before a strong braking spot to enter on a left-hander hairpin. Let's take a look. Trois-Rivières, for sure, is on my top 10 tracks. Length 1.5 miles, 2.4 kilometers. Turns 11. Virginia International Raceway has a history in two halves, spanning almost 60 years. From its origins as a sports car course in the 1950s to its resurrection as a country club-style multi-purpose venue, VIR, as it is commonly known, has long been considered one of the toughest courses to master in North America. From initial success to decline and abandonment for a quarter of a century, the circuit proved too good to be left to pasture and reopened following extensive renovations in 2000. Since then, it has gone on to host some of the most prestigious road racing events in the USA, currently including the WeatherTech IMSA Sports Car Series, GT World Challenge America, Moto America, and the SCCA runoffs. The track also features full resort facilities, including 3 hotels, several restaurants, and activities such as karting and skeet shooting. Besides those details, we have the grass, trees, the nature. When you go to a track like Virginia that is in the hills and trees, there is greenery everywhere. Past that, the track layout is awesome. It has everything: super fast with long straights, elevation changes, slow technical section, and super high speed technical sections. It definitely is one of my favorite tracks to pilot. Length 3.2 miles, 5.2 kilometers. Turn 17. Watkins Glen International is the spiritual home of road racing in the USA, with crowds flocking to see top-level racing since the 1940s. Indeed, virtually all major road racing classes in North America have competed here at one stage or another, from Formula One through to Can-Am and the NASCAR Cup Series. The first turn is known as the 90, a right-hander and a good place to pass. Then it's up toward the S's, a series of 3 fast, sweeping apexes leading onto the back straight. The cars reach their top speed here, before hard braking for the bus stop at the end of the straight. Here, the track deviates from its original circuit for the boot, a hammerhead-shaped up and down hill section of track added in 1971. Length 3.4 miles, 5.5 kilometers. Turns 11. I made this list so that you, IndyCar lover, be able to enjoy as much as I had enjoyed testing these tracks, selecting images, editing the video. It was almost 80 hours of work and 2 months to make this project happen, and I hope you enjoy a lot. I count on your partnership to achieve my goals here on YouTube, to monetize my channel and be able to make my channel a source of income so that I can dedicate myself fully to you. So I count on your subscriptions, shares, comments, and likes.
Bonus track, here we go.
The Autodromo Internacional Nelson Piquet, also known as Jacarepaguá Circuit, was a motorsport circuit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Opened in January 1978, a few weeks before 1978 Brazilian Grand Prix, it hosted the Formula One Brazilian Grand Prix on 10 occasions and was also used for INDYCAR and stock car racing. From 1996 to 2000, the kart series staged events at Jacarepaguá in an accessory trapezoid-shaped speedway named Emerson Fittipaldi Speedway, having approximately 3 kilometers, 1.8 miles length. The race, originally the Rio 400, before being shortened to the Rio 200 in 1999, was first won in 1996 by Brazilian André Ribeiro.